Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck.
Got Harvey Dock as our referee for this 10-rounder. Hernandez, Rodriguez.
Joe, we already saw tonight a couple of headbutts involved in our earlier fights, and I'm not wishing it on anyone, but I would not be surprised if you're going to see a head clash in this fight. Why? Well, amazingly as this might sound, Hernandez has been cut by head clashes in 8 fights. That's a lot. Matter of fact, Hernandez was cut over both eyes 2 fights ago. He's had a no decision from a head clash. And he definitely has scar tissue. Hernandez being he has scar tissue over his right eye.
There's Delvin Rodriguez when he's not training, not fighting, works as an analyst, our analyst with our colleagues over at ESPN Deportes.
Hernandez was on the floor in his last fight. I wonder if Rodriguez is thinking about that.
Delvin had an easy go of it last time out. It was against George Tadenapper and was overmatched. Took him out in 6.
Yeah, a fighter who had a great record, 31-0-1, but I thought nobody was completely untested and completely undeveloped and not ready for that kind of step up, as we say sometimes, from the wading pool to the ocean.
Tadenapper, great heart, gutsy guy, but just completely outclassed against Delvin.
Delvin's fought for a world title 2 times. Hernandez has fought for a world title 1 time. Matter of fact, I couldn't help but looking at their records and so many similar facts, so many statistics that really are close. I mean, Rodriguez has 36 fights, Hernandez 35. Hernandez has been 10 rounds or better 10 times. Rodriguez 11 times. Both just moved up to junior middleweight their last few fights from welterweight, and both have been knocked out 1 time. Both have fought for world titles, as I just said. And Rodriguez is 33, Hernandez 34. A lot of close statistics right there. The only thing far apart is where they come from. Rodriguez right here, Hernandez the West Coast. And maybe because of those similarities, you're getting a lot of feeling out right now. The longer reach, maybe the better wingspan is Hernandez. And I think he can use that on the outside. The better inside fighter is Rodriguez, but on the outside, I think it's very important for Hernandez to use that wingspan.
End of 1 here. Joe and Teddy with you here for our main event on Friday Night Fights. Delvin Rodriguez, 2 times he's fought for world titles. Was involved in
let's go.
2011 Fight of the Year on Friday Night Fights. That was a 10-round draw against Pavel Wolak down in New York, July of 2011. An absolute thriller. Now Delvin, maybe perhaps looking to pick up the pace a bit here.
Time.
And there was no mouthpiece.
That's not good. Fighter needs his mouthpiece.
Hernandez left the corner without a mouthpiece.
That's where a corner has to be calm. They have to be together. They have to be organized and instructed. Everyone has to know their job, and somebody's job in the corner has to be hand the mouthpiece to the trainer before you leave. After you washed it off, don't leave with the mouthpiece. Hand it back to the chief second so he can give it to the fighter.
That chief second is Ramon Morales. How did you used to handle the whole ballet and dance of it all in the corner?
No, I'd have it all laid out. Until you're going to get the mouthpiece, you're going to wash it off, and before you do anything else, you're going to hand it back to me.
And I can only imagine the comments and look and scorn if that didn't happen.
Yes.
Just simply, yeah, exactly.
They got that down pretty good. They usually made sure of that. And right now, pretty good is the offensive Rodriguez. I said it in the opening, When I talked about both guys blue collar, and I think you're seeing that blue collar, earnest night work, honest night work from both of them, always. But the sharper guy, the better offensive guy, the smoother guy, the better combination puncher, and the faster guy, Rodriguez.
Reminder, you can go to Facebook, Friday Night Fight page, and click on live scoring and score this main event along with Teddy Atlas.
What Hernandez is he loves distance. You know, you look at him as a rugged guy, you say, oh, he wants to get in close. Nope, likes distance, likes separation, likes to look for spots, likes to use that wingspan with the jab. And even though he threw a left hook there, usually likes to look for the right hand to land.
Left hook landed, didn't have a lot on it. There's another hook from Hernandez.
There's a right hand from Hernandez, but not a good one. Needs to straighten it out a little bit. And there's a nice left hook by.
3 times in this second round he has scored with that left hand, Teddy.
Watch your hands. Stop.
Looks like there was a clash of heads that time.
I'm not surprised. There's a reason why I talked about that. Hernandez been involved in head clashes, as we said before the first punch, in 8 fights. Hernandez, even though he's tall, he falls inside with his head.
Work in there. Let him go. Let him go. Work. Work. Work.
Rodriguez and Hernandez coming to the end of 2 here on Friday Night Fights. Warning to get him up.
Take a look at this left hook. He slips to the left, makes the right hand miss, and scores with the left hook. Now, look how slowly the right hand of Rodriguez recovers. Doesn't recover fast enough, the left hook gets there. That is just carelessness, a little bit of bad defensive habit there, or reaction from Rodriguez. Threw a right hand and missed. Hey, we miss sometimes, but you should get it back. He didn't get it back, and he caught the left hook from Hernandez.
See the CompuPunch numbers from the last round. Hernandez had a 20-8 connect advantage. A little bit of grease applied to the left eye of Hernandez. There was some redness and abrasion above that left eye, just below the brow. Bernardo Osuna was listening into the corner of Freddy Hernandez. Bernardo, what can you tell us?
Ramon Yuquita Morales was telling Hernandez that he saw Delvin quite slow in the first couple of rounds, and he wants more body work. He says, close up your guard, work to the body, and then finish it off with the right. Exactly what Teddy's been saying.
Thanks, Bernardo.
But again, you see Hernandez likes distance. Look, he'll get inside. There's a reason why he's been involved in head clashes in 8 fights. He gets inside, but he likes to try to do work with a little distance and then come in. And that's what he's doing right now. And right now,
it's a cut above the right eye.
Yeah, right now, Hernandez is just taking it to Rodriguez, and quite honestly, he's just outworking Hernandez. And he's got Hernandez backing up, sort of on his heels a little bit. And as you can see, where the right hand we talked about in the fight plan, Hernandez starting to zero in on that a little bit over the jab of Rodriguez. As you said, a cut in the corner of the right eye of Rodriguez.
Let's go.
The question is, and a very important question, was it a punch or was it a headbutt? And I'd guess headbutt. But what's more important is, what does the ref say?
Keep him up.
Rodriguez starting to feel some urgency early in this fight. I think he came out a little lackadaisical, feeling each other out, maybe assuming a little something. He's been doing pretty well lately, where Hernandez has lost 3 of his last 4. But all to good fighters, don't forget. But still, he's lost 3 of his last 4. I think Rodriguez understands that, came out a little, maybe, overconfident. And you know what? He's getting a wake-up call real fast. is Rodriguez.
Cut over the right eye of Delvin Rodriguez here in round number 3. Let's go back and show you how that came about. Watch the heads here.
Yeah, before the left hook was the headbutt. Headbutt, and then a little bit of a cuffing left hook. And you saw right away that was it, because you saw immediately Rodriguez wiping at the corner of that right eye.
Fortunately, he has one of the very best in the business working on that cut. That's Danny Milano, New York-based cut man, as we listen into the corner, brought to you by the United States Marine Corps.
Oye, movimiento de cintura y amágame, movimiento de cintura y amágame. Vamos a boxear, vámonos con pierna, ¿ok? Movimiento de cintura y dame un boxeo bonito. Enséñame que tú boxeas y saca la mano con combinaciones. ¿Ok? Enséñame el boxeo que tú tienes. ¿Ok?
Commission recognizing that clash of heads as the cause of the cut above the red eye.
Tell you where there's an edge for Hernandez if he continues taking it, and I don't see why he wouldn't, taking it to Rodriguez. Hernandez, a little bit the bigger man. Turned pro 147, most of his career at welterweight. Just moved up to junior middleweight his last 2 fights, while Rodriguez turned pro at junior welterweight and stayed there for his first 9 fights, Joe, and then moved to welter, and then his last few fights he moved up to junior middle. So a little extra beef, maybe a little extra strength for Hernandez when he wants to go inside like he just did, landing a left hook underneath and a right hand on top.
Both men opened up. Hernandez got the best of it with that right hand.
Inactivity can hurt you too, and Rodriguez has had some. Go back 4 fights, he was off 1 year, and only 2 fights he had in 2010, 2 fights in 2011, and only 1 fight in 2012. We talked earlier about a lot of similarities with these guys. Also some inactivity for Hernandez. Not as much though. 1 fight in 2011 and 1 fight for Hernandez in 2012.
Teddy scorecard 29-28 for Hernandez, taking the last 2 rounds. You, the fan at home, can score along with Teddy Atlas. Go to the Friday Night Fight Facebook page, click on live scoring. 2 rounds to 1 Hernandez, say the fans.
I don't know about you, but to me, Rodriguez still has a shell-shocked look on his face. Like, I didn't expect this. And this being the bigger, and you can see he's big. I just talked about it being bigger. You can see Hernandez the bigger man. This big, tall, long man coming at me in this kind of way. And if he didn't expect it, well, he better adjust to it quick. And obviously he should have expected it. There's a counterpunch, and you see
Delvin with the right hand.
Yeah, that's the adjustment for Delvin. You know, he says, okay, the bigger guy's giving up his height, I'm going to counter him coming in. And he set a nice trap, Delvin did, with the right hand. He waited for Hernandez to give up some of his height, get a little close, and Rodriguez scored with a good right hand. Nice trap by Rodriguez. Don't forget, every once in a while, Hernandez is a little wide with his punches. Rodriguez not wide.
So Rodriguez lands a good right, but earlier it was Hernandez doing damage. More to come. Stay with us. Spirited main event here between Freddy Hernandez and Delvin Rodriguez. Rodriguez suffered a cut above the right eye with a clash of heads in the 3rd. Hernandez has had some success, has left hooks landing in the 2nd round. Right hand sparked things early in the 4th, but we saw Rodriguez come back with a counter right hand and then a little more offensively minded at the end of the last round. Now round 5 scheduled for 10.
You know, I expected this to be a rugged, tough, competitive, good fight. And you know what? It's a rugged, tough, competitive, good fight. and at least in my scorecards, maybe a little early to put up the upset alert, but Hernandez doing what he needs to do early on. And I wonder if we continue this way and we get later on, do the judges do what they need to do and give a fair decision? And that's something you have to be cognizant of, and you always have to be concerned about in this sport.
Watch your head. Let's go, let's go.
CompuBox offers up the power punch numbers. These are total power punches. Hernandez 48 to 29 connect advantage.
There's some of the sharpshooting. I talked about the difference between the two fighters early on. Rodriguez's offense just sharper, cleaner, more concise, quicker. He's not a huge puncher, but he's a sharpshooter, and you saw it with the right hand, and you see it again.
Let's go, let's go.
There he goes with the right hand. It's been his weapon of choice throughout his career. Now on the inside, Hernandez. There's a body shot, left hand to the body, then a right hand.
Better round for Rodriguez, and there's a reason for it. He's taking what's being given to him. Not forcing anything. Made a little adjustment in the last round, Joe, where he sees the bigger guy can be enticed into giving up his height and his size, and he can invite him in and counter him a little bit, and just kind of take little pieces of him as Hernandez gives them to him. And that's what Rodriguez is trying to do. Take little pieces of Hernandez as Hernandez gives them to him by coming forward, not effectively. You see the speed advantage, not just with the hands, but with the legs of Rodriguez. Just sometimes beating Hernandez, nothing more fancy than that. And nothing more simple than that. Beating him to the punch. Getting off first.
Hands are free, work.
So to me, I see two things with Rodriguez this round, Joe. One, sometimes beating the slower Hernandez to the mark, and sometimes counter-punching, just doing this. Stepping back, giving a little bit, and looking to do that.
An opportunity to take as Hernandez came forward there. Much better looking round number 5 for Delvin Rodriguez.
And there's that bleeding again in the corner of the right eye of Rodriguez. I talk about Rodriguez being a sharpshooter. Well, this is what I mean. Just not a big puncher, but just sharp. Sharp little short right hand over the outstretched left hand, and then a little short left hook behind it.
It's a great look at the angle of getting that right hand down over the left hand and accelerating through as
Corner.
Harvey Dock.
Right here. Get this grease off.
I mean, look at the amount of Crisco that they wiped up on that brow. Harvey Dock said, "We're not baking a bunt cake here. Wipe that thing down."
Yeah, well, actually, he's doing him a favor, because you're not doing a fighter a favor by putting Vaseline on that recklessly, that large, because that can get in the eye of your own fighter. And, of course, it can also get in the eye of the other fighter. So that's why the referee, not that he won't allow Vaseline, but not in gobs, as you said, because it can cause problems to both fighters. And, of course, that gob was put there, you would think, from the cut man, Danny Milano. Or I should say not Danny Milano, the cut man of Hernandez. And that would be Rafael Sarabia.
Well, Bernardo once again was listening into the corners. Let's check in with him.
In Delvin's corner was Fernelli Feliz asking him, "Are you awake? Are you awake?" And that's because notoriously Delvin's been a slow starter. So after the first 4 or 5 rounds, now he's feeling a rhythm against Freddy Hernandez.
It's better to feel rhythm than to feel left hooks.
Let him go, Delvin.
Or right hands. See, that's the speed. Yeah, that was the speed of Rodriguez. Hernandez was about to line up a right hand, and he's looking for that right hand, as we talked about in a fight plan. He's starting to look for it more, Hernandez. But he was about to line it up, and Rodriguez just, his quicker hands just beat Hernandez to it.
Yeah, you can see Hernandez's effort coming a mile away, and Delvin was quick to respond in landing that right hand.
Yeah, I mean, Hernandez could author some of those a little bit. Author some of those old sayings, Joe, you know, coming from left field. I like to see that, a little ingenuity. Hernandez threw a right hand to the body, trying to set up a left hook up top, and little warning there by the ref.
There was another clash of heads right there, and you can see Rodriguez clearly wincing as that time Hernandez came straight in with his head to that left side of the face of Delvin. Here's a look.
Yeah, well, we said it. We noted it again before the fight started.
Time in.
That Hernandez is the king of clash. Not crash, but clash. And he has lived up to that notoriety.
Remember, it was in the third round when a clash opened up a cut above the right eye. Danny Milano's done a good job of keeping that in check.
You see what Hernandez is trying to do now. He figures I got to be a little better, a little smarter, a little bit more creative if I'm going to land. So I'm going to the right hand to the body, trying to set up a left hook to the head. I'm looking for that to continue. I'm looking for the left hook to the head of Rodriguez from Hernandez, because to me that's what he's trying to set up by throwing those right hands downstairs.
Body shot landed there.
Good body work by the bigger man, Hernandez.
Tonight's foolproof punch of the night brought to you by Just for Men. Constantine Bejanaro, the left hand against XL Holmes, in a fight that would actually be a no contest because of a cut suffered in the second round. Round 7. Delvin Rodriguez getting a test tonight against the veteran Freddy Hernandez. Separation on the inside. Delvin landed a left hand. Two-punch combination by the Connecticut native.
Get off his head, Delvin.
Harvey Dock is asking for them to work out of these situations. Let's show you Teddy Atlas's scorecard. 58-56. Hernandez.
Keep him up, keep him up.
You, the fans, see it 3-3 after 6.
And again, I would hate to worry about things so early, but you have to. I'd be worrying if I was a back of Hernandez. Look, the first thing you have to control what you can control, and that's your behavior, your conduct, the way you fight in the ring. That's what you have to control, and Hernandez is doing that right now, but if he continues to give that earnest effort and that effective effort, you'd have to be concerned to the judges do the same here in the hometown of Rodriguez.
Get off his head. Right.
And are the judges watching the body work of Hernandez, he's put in some decent body work the last couple rounds. Protect yourself at all times. Looked like Hernandez relaxed a little bit inside, expecting the ref to step in, and Rodriguez took advantage. Again, you see the quicker hands, Joe, of Rodriguez, but you see the more ponderous, little heavier shots of Hernandez and the constant work of Hernandez. Like the ocean, the waves, they just keep coming, keep coming.
Oh, there's a right hand.
There's the right hand we talked about in the fight plan. That's always there when you fight Rodriguez. And I see a lot of swelling now under the left eye of Hernandez. So Milano's going to have to not only work on that cut in the corner of the right eye, but the swelling under that left eye of Rodriguez.
Most substantial punch of the night from Freddy Hernandez. The right hand in the final minute of round number 7. 3 to go when we come back to Mohegan Sun.
this decision doesn't go Hernandez's way, if he deserves it, mark this round down. You see that right hand? Well, there was no doubt in my mind, or I think your mind at home, that put an exclamation point on the 7th round, and the 7th round for Hernandez. So he hasn't won yet, but if he does, and he doesn't get it, look at who they give that last round to. And there's another head clash, as we've been seeing from the beginning.
You warned everybody. There's a clash of heads that opened up that cut in the 3rd round. 2 more clash of heads where they separated and the referee got involved later without blood. But it is just a constant with Freddy Hernandez.
Rodriguez more affected by the head clashes physically and emotionally than Hernandez. Hernandez is used to them, really. And I'm not being facetious. Rodriguez not used to them. And you can see it's bothered Rodriguez more than it's bothered Hernandez. And physically it's bothered him. He's got a cut on his corner of his right eye and swelling under the left eye. And that swelling under the left eye, though, in all fairness, I think that came from a right hand of Hernandez.
Once again, back to the inside where they're coming so close. Both opened up. That time was a left hand from Rodriguez, and now Delvin on the attack.
Well, again, the more steady wave of attack and offense is Hernandez, but the quick burst, the quick strikes, the faster hands has been in spots. Rodriguez. That's his thing. And this is Hernandez's thing. Make it a little ugly and keep it coming.
And now Rodriguez comes forward again.
Well, Rodriguez is a spot fighter, Joe. You know, he can explode in spots.
That's a bad cut above the left eye of Freddy Hernandez. There is blood everywhere ringside.
Well, they've been stopped tonight by the doctors. We'll see if the doctor stops it again. I would guess that he will.
It's a bad one.
But maybe not. But I would guess he will off of what we've seen tonight. I'm going to guess he's going to stop it.
No good. No, look at this.
Dr. Tony Alessi shaking his head.
Headbutt.
And a clash of heads is going to end this fight.
No. Go to the scorecard.
Teddy, you gave the warning earlier. You said Freddy Hernandez fights. What'd you say, 8 fights?
Yes, sir. 8 fights involved in head clashes. I also said that he was cut over both eyes his last 2 fights from head clashes, and that he has scar tissue over his right eye.
So a clash of heads here in the 8th round, and they will have to go to the scorecards as Rodriguez and Hernandez. I mean, things were heating up there. Hernandez had the big right hand in the 7th round, but Rodriguez was in the midst of an 8th round that was offensive-minded. He had a few of those great spurts of attack. This is going to be interesting to see which ways this goes. Let's watch this replay and see if it was a clash or if a punch landed and caused this. There's no blood there above the left eye. No cut, no blood. Delvin throws a right hand. And let's see if there's blood here as the result of that right hand. Another right hand comes in. And there's blood, Teddy. 2 right hands came in without a clash of heads.
Well, you know, you've heard me, if you've heard us do Rodriguez fights in the past, you've heard me in the past say that Rodriguez has a way of cutting guys with his punches. And he's done it quite a few times. I mean, Hernandez cuts a lot of guys with his head. He talked about that. But Rodriguez does cut guys with his punches. He gets a certain torque, a certain twist on his punch, and a certain snap on his punch. And obviously he hits them around the bony area in the right spot. But Rodriguez has caused quite a few cuts in his career with his punches.
With the benefit of replay, this should be a TKO win for Delvin Rodriguez, but it's been ruled a clash of heads. Another look, Teddy. Watch the two right hands. There's one. No clash of heads. There's another right hand. And then you'll see upon separation the blood now streaming. It wasn't there. Two right hands later, it is there. So they will go to the scorecards for a technical decision as they stop the fight from the advice of Dr. Tony Alessi. And for that, let's head up to the ring and find out the scores.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Harvey Dock calls a halt to this contest. The official time of the stoppage, 1 minute and 37 seconds of round number 8. The cause of the stoppage is an accidental headbutt, and therefore we go to the judges' score totals. Tom Schreck scores this bout 76-76 even. Tom Carasone scores this bout 77-75. And Kevin Morgan scores this bout 78-74. Both for your winner by majority decision and the new IBF North American Junior Middleweight Champion from Danbury, Connecticut, Delvin.
You know, I should tell, we didn't get a chance to get my scorecard up, but going into the 8th round, after the 7th round, I had it scored 68-65, so obviously I had a 3-point edge for Hernandez, 68-65 for Hernandez, and I would not have had a 3-point round, obviously, for Rodriguez in the 8th, so I had Hernandez winning that fight.
We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we will hear from Delvin Rodriguez. Stay with us.